everybody. Welcome to the WinginIT podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm here, man. I can't complain. How about yourself?
I am making it as well. Sandstorm.
Yo. Chilling. Ready for this podcast since we didn't do one last night.
Gotcha. All right, Andre.
I mean, look, I'm in good spirits. I got stuff to laugh at.
Brother, that's every week.
Yeah, that's every week. All right, people. So, what you been playing? Y'all probably gonna see the video up tomorrow. I jumped back in Perfect Dark trying out the 8-bit dose 64 controller.
Okay.
Check that out. It's surprisingly comfortable.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
So, yeah, I've been playing that with the NSO N64 and the mature one as well. Ocarina of Time it feels good on, but I still need the original when it comes to Jet Force Gemini for some reason. I got to figure out that Jet Force Gemini. I got to figure out a better control scheme for that than what they got, because it's just I don't even remember how I beat it originally. I must have just pushed through it, because playing it now, I'm like, dude, this really does need like a control revamp.
Look, the thing is, the control scheme was good for its time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not so much.
Yeah. It's not so much, especially when you talk about the dog. God dang, I hate them damn little.
Man,
But I digress. Playing that, playing more of Street Fighter 6 as well as Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. The Ken dropped, so I've been trying him out. He's not bad. I kind of like. If I could be honest, I kind of prefer him in Fatal Fury. I kind of like what SNK did with him as opposed to Street Fighter 6. If that makes Street Fighter 5 especially, but Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
I kind of like him in that. That's just me just playing. I haven't really I've been practicing with him. I haven't really took him on anything else, but I actually kind of digging him. I haven't got Sagat yet because I don't know if I want that pack or not. Even though I do like Sagat.
Question.
So, do they come with the year 1-2 edition?
That's season 3.
Let's go.
All right.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You talking for Switch 2?
Yeah.
That's really weird because I'm in the whole another day thing with my character, and I'm like, do I get Sagat or just
he's season 3? He's season 3. You got season 1 and 2.
Yes.
Lena was the last of season 2, and she's with.
Yeah.
That was it for that. So
that was it for that. Yeah. So this new crop, Sea Viper and all them, that's season 3. So you got to pay for that.
Okay.
See.
I'm like, how did I get
that's why I don't know if I want it or not. The only person I kind of really want is Sagat and Viper. I don't really care for the other two.
Mm-hmm.
So how does Street Fighter handle it? Because I know with Smash, individual characters, and then sometime down the line, well, you can get the pass and buy everybody. Is Street Fighter doing the same way of buy all of season 3?
I think you can. I think you buy them individually. I got to go back and look.
No,
you do have a pass though.
You can get them individually, but I think it's cheaper just to get the pass.
Yeah, it's cheaper because you can't if you get the pass, you get everything. If you don't get the pass, I think you literally just get the character. You don't get no other nothing. So that's all. It's one of those things where you have to weigh it.
That's crazy.
But
I mean, I like the idea of well, no, I don't. Let me not lie. But let's say I can tolerate the idea of okay, well, let me buy who I like, opposed to you forcing me to buy a whole pack. But that's still nuts.
You ain't gonna put nothing with it,
right?
Or in the case of Smash Bros, when they do it, the other stuff is actually cheap. It's not a lot. That's not the case with this. So yeah. And I've been playing. Because I need to finish Doom: The Dark Ages. I do like that game. It's actually a lot of fun, but I need to go and just push. I think I'm just gonna push through it. Then on my second playthrough, actually do all the stuff to get all the collectibles and all that stuff. So there's that. All right. What about you, Sandstorm? What you been playing? Nothing.
I went back and played Diablo 4.
He went back.
I thought you said you wasn't gonna play it.
He went back. That thing, that doggone game got a vice around you.
You got a vice around your neck, bro.
I said, you know what? Let me just see what this thing is, so I won't have to worry about it. I'll just check it out real quick. And I got sucked in again. I mean, now if I can be Frank, Jim, Joe, and Jack, not you, Jack, but it's not really that great of a season. Like, season ain't nothing special, as I thought it wouldn't be. But I'm just like, I'm already here. I might as well just max out the character. I don't feel like doing all the after stuff after you max out the character. At least not with the character that I'm playing with currently, which is the barbarian. I might switch to the druid and check it out, and maybe it'll be a little bit funner, and I'll be like, oh, this is what I'm missing. But as for right now, there's nothing special. I kind of gave away my whole Street Fighter situation. I went into the whatever it's called, the filler piece, another day or whatever it is, something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ran into the whole Sagat thing, and I was like, oh, this would be dope if I get this, because I might actually use this. I don't never use Sagat.
Okay, no, I just checked. You got two options. You have the character pass, which is all characters and their first set of costume colors and some points, or the ultimate pass, which
I saw that
with all of their costumes and colors. And
brother, that's a whole game. That ultimate pass is a brand new game.
How much is the ultimate?
It was what, $47.99?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh no.
They've done it for each one, so I mean, they can sell a whole new game with just 5 characters.
That's
but Capcom did that on Street Fighter 5 though, so they did the same thing on 5.
I'm not mad at the hustle.
Yeah.
Like,
I am.
Once again,
right. Me too.
But this is once again what I've been saying. Like, people be getting mad talking about $80, but I'm like, these games should be costing $1,900 for all the stuff you want in it, because for some reason y'all don't have a problem buying $215 deluxe special editions. Go to your take.
Well, I'll just be buying it. Look, once I upgrade, I'll just be buying the character pass for $25. Call it.
But the problem with that is there's no way to unlock the other stuff. They make you pay for it. That's the other thing they got.
Really?
Yeah, because I was sitting there trying to figure out what all this stuff in the shop is and why I can't get it.
There's a way to do it. You have to earn the points in the game to get them.
Yeah, but
I'm fine with that.
The points don't make sense, because they like, it ain't a way to get it without, like, basically that's the only game you're gonna play.
Isn't the point system through the online though?
Yeah.
Yeah, pass.
Now, do they have like? Did they tie World Tour into that whole point system as well? Okay.
No, and that's why it's a pass for me, because I love World Tour, but like, you are rarely gonna get me on the online side. Like, that's not. I don't enjoy getting my butt kicked, and I know I would.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yeah, because like it's funny. It's not funny, but it's messed up. There's a lot of times, like, the Evo guys do go online and try to pretend like they don't know they
go on and
stuff.
Yeah.
I found that out in 5. I'm like, y'all made a new character on purpose to start over, so you can just be. Nah, heck nah. So I was like, that's why I only play with people I know. I don't play like. I don't. Well, why don't you go in the ring and see how good you are? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
That's the biggest highlight for Street Fighter 6 for me, was the World Tour. And after I finished that, for the most part, it's like, okay, what?
Yeah.
They should have just made Final Fight 3. They should have just made Final Fight 3. 4. My bad, 4. They should just made that.
I mean, they attempted with Final Fight Streetwise, but that didn't work. That didn't work at all.
Yeah. About that.
that is non-canonical because of how horrible it was. That's why it's not canonical.
Yeah. Let's just throw Final Fight and Street Fighter 6. They won't find out. They won't mind.
And I'm pretty sure this isn't the last season either.
No, it's not. It's like they probably got 1 or 2 more seasons in them.
Yeah. Because I don't think they're making another one for a clip.
So you pretty much could easily spend over $200 on this game.
Yeah.
Probably already have.
I ain't bothering.
Remember, Remember when it first originally came out 2 years ago, there was like a $90-something edition too.
Yeah, that was the original Ultimate Edition.
Yeah,
good.
So you probably already have.
Oh, they got that game locked. Super and super ultimate, and this is like they got that on lock.
For anyone that might purchase it on PC, if you go to Fanatical, you can usually catch it on sale. Usually,
they'll do some nasty
like 30 to 40% off.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's how I got 6. I paid $40 for first 2 seasons. It called it a day.
So now, is there a reason why I don't see season 3 on the Switch 2? Well, the eShop store?
I saw it in the news.
Probably haven't fully registered in the system yet.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Because if you go on the news channel,
okay,
you'll see it because it's with Sagat. It's under the Sagat page.
Gotcha.
It's not fully registered on the eShop yet. Then.
Gotcha. Yeah, because they tend to be pretty slow with stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
other
tough.
than that, what am I playing? Cyberpunk. Play a little Cyberpunk. Still killing it in that game, and that's really, I think for the most part, I want to say that's it. V Rising, but I kind of slowed up on that since I picked up Diablo. I may jump back into that though.
Okay.
All
right. Let's see. Jack, did I already ask you?
No, not yet.
All right, Jack.
Mine's a little bit more shameful. But I'm going to explain.
What's more shameful than jumping back in Diablo after I said I wasn't gonna do it?
No, because if you look at my tweet and what I'm about to say, it's more shameful. So Dragon's Drive, I have been playing that. It hasn't gotten much of my time because I haven't been in position to prop up the Joy-Cons to utilize it. Like for me, I could do it on my lap, I can do it on the couch, but I want to try it on a desk or something just to see if I have a different experience. But I haven't been in the mood to sit up and play games. So I'm not going to be laid back trying to do this with Dragon's Drive. So when it came out, I tried it for a little bit just to kind of see how it felt. And of course it was smooth. One of my biggest gripes more or less is with the people of like, hey, we want Nintendo to be creative. And then they did something creative and they only charge you $20 for it. But yeah, you're trying to judge it like a AAA game. I don't know. People are retarded. Anyway.
Yeah.
but my guilt one, and I want to start with, I got this for $30, is Madden.
But I they fixed it though.
So so I'm gonna try to shorten this up because this can be a very long rant. But I listen to some trusted reviewers that I go to for a lot of my games, and it was too much of a mixed bag for me to say, you know what, is definitive. I'm not gonna touch it. And they did some in-depth, detailed reviews. So I was like, okay, this is just too skewed. You got on one side of the house people saying it's smooth, and on the other side of the house they say it's a broken mess, and you're more inclined to lead to that side because it's EA. So I was like, okay, I can get it for $30. Let me go get it myself. So it is a great Madden game. It is a good video game. Like it's a good video game, but it's a great Madden game. So the quick pros, it's a smooth game. Anybody that's having like hiccups or issues are either A, not privy to Madden, or either two, they are like trying to buy too much into what they expected. Like I think most of us expected them to show up the way WWE 2K25 showed up. To where, it took a hit on the resolution, but we at least got 60 so it could run smooth. From what I'm feeling, what it seems like is running at 40 because it's kind of similar to Cyberpunk in a way. Yeah. I had, I would say, a better experience when I put it on my internal hard drive versus my SD card, but it was still the same regardless. The only real like bad hiccups I've ever seen is when I was trying to like hurry the play up, like when you're just trying to hurry up and burn the clock, or not trying to burn the clock, but beat the clock. That's the only time I saw it like really spaz out. But other than that, it's just your typical EA bugs. So for example, the one thing they have to fix is superstar mode. Like anybody that's interested in superstar mode, I would just say don't play it right now. And it's solely because your player, they have the wear and tear system. that joker always wore out. Like, no matter what you do, no matter what type of recovery you do, that joker always wore out. You literally start the game all green, and then within like 2 plays, your whole body damn near red. I don't know why. And then the sliders don't affect superstar mode. So superstar mode is like in its own world. So even if you go and adjust sliders, it doesn't affect superstar mode. Also, the snow, cool, looks great, fantastic, but you should not fumble on every possession in the freaking snow. It's impossible to win a snow game.
High school football.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I got to the wild card because I got drafted by the Bengals. We made it to the wild card. I knew I was going to lose because the very first game was against the Patriots in the snow. And lo and behold, first possession, I got pushed and dropped the ball. Then the next we get the ball, the next drive, throw it down the field, catch it. He gets tackled, fumble. Then the next drive, mind you, they're scoring every time we lose the ball. So it's not like this is tied up at 0. Wow. They're scoring every time down because the CPU and the snow don't fumble on the other side, but your teammates do. So by the time we finally get to the point where we can drive it down the field where we didn't get any fumbles, it was like 30-something to 0. And mind you, I get to the red zone, break off a nasty long run. Mind you, my player doesn't go as fast as he should because, like I said, the wear and tear. So his actual speed is 85, but he's down to 68 every damn game. It's because of wear and tear, even though I rest. So I make it all the way down. He pushes me out into the end zone, fumble the ball. Then my player freezes mid-stride. They pick up the ball and take it all the way back. I said, you got to be freaking. I knew I was going to lose. I said, the only way we're win the Super Bowl is if I don't have a snow game. Both the Patriots and the Buffalo Bills washed me.
Okay.
So all in all, if you play franchise, cool. Plus, there's already people with sliders out there that make it even better. For whatever reason, this game is always online. Do not know why. And so that's where it kind of kills the whole like sleep and come back situation, because the moment you turn it back on, it disconnected from EA servers. You have to sign back in.
Yeah,
it is so annoying. So I don't know what EA was smoking with this one. But all in all, in the game, every play, it feels smooth. There are no hiccups when I'm running the ball. There's no hiccups when we're passing, any of that. Like, I haven't missed a hole or cut or anything because the game hiccuped. If we're in motion of a play, the game is smooth. Now, it may not be 60, but it's smooth. So I will say it has gotten a lot of my time. I played it the entire weekend. And mainly I played it 90% in handheld. And it feels fantastic in handheld mode. So I knew what I was getting, knew what to expect. And so I don't go into it. So for any reviewer that's like, this game is unplayable, you're full of crap. Like, this game is not unplayable. You have not played an unplayable game. I can show this game is, if you have played Madden before, you know what to expect. But if you've never touched Madden and you're looking for this flawless football game, go somewhere else. It's just not gonna happen. But that's ultimately where I've been spending a lot of my time, and I plan to get back into it. But they do need to update it, because that patch that they did, the day one patch, some people said it fixed some stuff, but if you look at their patch notes, it didn't say anything about fixing any of that. It was adding more stuff than anything. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, you can see the scummy stuff in the game. But other than that, O-line suck. They'll do what they want to do sometimes, like really just run around in circles. Sometimes your quarterback is the offensive lineman. That's great. Sometimes your stats don't get counted. So I would say, if I had to judge this game, there are bugs they can update and fix, versus the foundation of what it's trying to be is still a fun game to play, but you're gonna run into bugs. Do not think you're gonna be exempt. But I will say, at least put it on your main internal hard drive opposed to having it on your SD card if you're gonna play it. But other than that,
better like that, or
yeah, for whatever reason. And then it seemed like the longer I played it, the smoother it got. I don't know if it's like it just stores the internal memory after a while, and it just now remembers all the BS it was messing up. But then also too, the halftime show they've been advertising that's similar to NFL 2K5s, it's not on the Switch 2 version for whatever reason. But that don't really bother me because it was just going to be a recap of pretty much from what I've seen. They have canned animations, and depending on the team, a certain player is going to be doing it. So if it should be Derrick Henry taking off for like these long runs that you see trucking people, you might see Aaron Rodgers doing that on the halftime show. So they just half did it, man. That's what it is. But ultimately, if you're a football fan, and you know what you're getting, I would say it's been solid. I mean, after this, I plan to go back and play it again. And I plan on picking up WWE 2K25 at some point in time if I can get that for $30, because I was able to get this for the low. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not touching Madden for a while anyway, so I'm good.
Yeah, right. I'll be good on it.
I fell out of love with it, especially after what 2K5 did. I'm like, clearly I'm never going to do this again. I'll wait till they get some competition. Because once they get some competition, they'll be forced to actually
do better.
Do better.
I mean,
like, that's the problem. They don't have competition, so nothing's making them evolve. So
true. Now for the PC players, they just dropped this crazy NFL Street mod that it looks great and also has the updated rosters. So I don't know if that's already dropped or it has a release date, but it looks nice. It's on point. It definitely looks like it's something made today, opposed to them just modding a PS2, Xbox game.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. All right, Andre, what about you, man? What you been playing?
For the most part, nothing. I ain't been playing nothing this week.
Okay.
I've been preparing for videos for the next month, so I haven't done any gameplay just yet.
Okay. All right, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to like if you got stuff to do, I completely understand. That being said, Dragon Drive. Jack, you want to take it away?
Yeah. So Dragon Drive, as I talked about with the demo, fairly similar to that global jam that we had. The game doesn't feel different at all from what we experienced in the global jam. I was able to get on online games fairly easy. I mean, there was enough people there, similar to the demo, because everybody's trying to get accustomed to it. It's a lot of ball hogs, like a lot of ball hogs. But you do have some genuine people that are trying to play, trying to have fun, trying to experience the game. The mini games, to me, those mini games are pretty fun. Like the races, like I said, doing the little trick systems. Even if you run and try to run into bowling pins and pop balloons and all that good stuff, like I think they did a good job adding that just to try to help you get accustomed to the controls. I think a lot of people look at mini games a little different depending on the game. Those games typically help you learn the controls because you're doing something that's not that's out of the norm. And whenever you get to the norm, it's like, oh, okay, this is a little bit more simple than what they got me trying to do. But as far as the game, I mean, it's a $20 game. I mean, you're not going to get a lot out of it unless you put a lot into it. So as far as like customization is very basic. Like I said, it's all about the play style. And so I saw a lot of people complaining about the control setup, but that's the game. You're not going to get Nintendo to bend to add stick function into this game, because then it's like, what's the purpose? Like,
there's no point of doing that. That's the point is to show you the mouse control. There's no point of giving you that control. I don't understand why people be getting mad about stuff like that.
I'm telling, because most people are just lazy. It was the same thing they have on ARMS. They did not want to use the controls setup for ARMS, so therefore Nintendo went and added actual controls like stick controls and button. It didn't feel right. Yeah. So with that, at least you can do that. This, I wouldn't even dare do that. But for me, coming into this game, understanding that, like I said, it's a $20 game. It's one of those in-between games to where they allow themselves to have fun, and who knows, it's Nintendo. That mechanic is coming in some other game down the line. Whether it's anything to do with wheelchairs or if it's just something that's inside of a game for a quick hot second, they're going to implement it somewhere else for sure.
we all know how Nintendo gets down when they put something in and give a game to it, and it's $19. Oh, they got 4 or 5 games they already got in the oven.
Yeah, for sure. Like the fact that they said 18 people worked on this game.
Yeah.
So they knew they were just okay. Let us experiment with these mouse controls. Let's see what we can do.
That was the internal tech demo. That's what that was.
Yeah. So between this and Welcome Tour, I mean, this essentially is showing you everything it can do. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get like a mouse control only type game. Like at some point, that's $20 just to showcase that, because there is a game that really showcases and focuses on mouse controls, but I don't think we got a date for it with MouseWorks. Like MouseWorks is all about MouseCon, like for sure. But I don't think they put a date on it. But ultimately, I mean, like I said, you saw what it is. There's nothing different outside of the mini games, and you get what you put into it. And I think that's where I see a lot of people trying their best not to have fun because they spoke too soon, and they're trying their best not to have fun. You've already seen the videos of like Nintendo dropped the ball or Nintendo's done because this rated a 59 or a 60. And if you read some of those reviews, like I said, they're very disingenuous. But ultimately, it's just one of those cheap games for you just to have, some quick fun with it. You ain't gonna spend a whole weekend with it unless you're just one of those that just like master controls and see how many people you can blow out. But other than that, that's about it. So it's a very simple game.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. I thought it wasn't gonna be nothing crazy.
The only thing that would make this game big is if people would stop. If people would get off their high horse for a minute and actually play it, and
there
just
you go.
Sets.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I saw most. For the honest content creators, they were like, you know what, I kind of enjoying myself. Like they're allowing themselves to have fun. It was the same thing with Mario Party Jamboree when they did the Jamboree TV. Now, to that credit, I don't know what in the world Nintendo was doing with that, but the mini games are fun. Like the way they executed it was horrible, but the mini games were fun. And for anybody that went to the experience, most of them were like, oh, I don't want to scream, I don't want to jump up and down, I'm an adult. I was like, what?
You do that mess every Sunday. Be quiet.
No, you just don't want to do it on camera. You want to do it off camera.
But the thing is, it's like you're on camera all day as a content creator. So what is the difference? Like that, I don't get. Half y'all wearing banana suits and all, but you don't want to jump up and hit stuff and scream. All right.
But here's the thing: everybody know that game chat gonna be off the chain when you start losing.
You're gonna get cuss outs. This is gonna be worse than the game of Uno.
Yeah.
But see, that was the key thing, though. A lot of people that did give it praise, they played with friends. They didn't play with random people, because that was one of the main complaints of like, oh, Nintendo makes you be friends to play together. I'm like, yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, I would rather be friends with somebody because I know.
Would you really want to play a bunch of games like that with a bunch of random?
No,
I don't want to do that. No. Because see, some people don't know how to talk before.
There you go.
And
there you go.
And then on top of that, I know, you have to worry about the weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think y'all know what I mean by that.
Roadblocks.
Yeah, so you have to worry about the weirdos. And I'm like, I understand what Nintendo do when they protecting their investment.
There you go.
So yeah, you ain't playing with randoms. I think a lot of y'all don't remember that the flip note situation.
Oh
yeah, most people don't remember.
I remember that being taken down. I was like, dang, it just.
But then you read why it got taken down. Like, yeah, that's the right deal.
Yeah,
that's
I don't blame you at all.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with the Smash community. Like people, no. Then they see video or pictures, they're like, oh, okay. Like,
right. Like, because that's gonna be a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Right.
I get it now. This is why you don't support them. I understand.
Yeah, like that whole Smash Bros. Bro, when that mess blew up.
There's still more. That's the bad part. There's still more.
Mm-hmm.
And it was coming for everybody, Nick. But then again, I'm sitting here like, why y'all got 25 and up people in the same house as 15 and 16 and 17? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, but all in all, I mean, it's a solid game for $20. Now, granted, I feel like at one point in time, Nintendo would have charged you $50 for this, but
I probably not for that.
Hell,
not for that.
I done seen some $50 Nintendo games. And I'm like, all right, that's it. All right, Nintendo. Yeah. Okay, we got you. But but all in all, it's a creative game. Hopefully it leads to something more. With this though, I mean, I kind of less likely that we see an ARMS too. I don't know. I feel like we still need to because it's sold well. I just think
this is going to be an ARMS 2. It's just probably not going to be within launch window of the console.
Yeah, because I just think people complained themselves out of that bag, possibly.
Yeah.
Well, it was a fun game. My only problem with the game was I wish there was an actual story mode to it.
Yeah,
because it was all the characters were interesting to not have nothing to go with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because there was arcade mode, but there was no, like you said, no story to it at all.
Yeah.
Because I love the absolute craziness of it. Like you doing boxing, and then all of a sudden now you're doing a volleyball game,
or basketball.
Basically doing a contest, hoping you Steph Curry out here.
Yeah.
And so I like the weirdness of it, but I just wish they had an actual like story mode because like I was getting into like how weird each of the characters were and how the world worked. So
I mean,
so
but that's a lot of making up to do though, because let's say they do go with a story, you're now going to have to explain not only the old characters that may return, but then also some new characters that have kind of jumped into the fray.
Sure,
but
do that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need 80 characters for ARMS. You just need like
you don't, but people gonna ask for it.
ARMS Ultimate.
I mean, we don't need like Waluigi and ARMS. Watch people start asking for it now. We don't need Waluigi and ARMS. So, like the only other character I would actually put in ARMS would be Lil Mac. Other than that, they should have their own cast.
Original.
Yeah, but Lil Mac is probably the only one I would put in there, and that's just based off because it's Lil Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, nah, y'all in y'all own little world.
Well, on top of that, they don't need long, drawn-out stories. You just need a little blurb before the game start, and then you get the rest of the stories you play.
Yeah. I mean, because we already know that the doctor was the crazy one that started all that mess. So that's like, and then she turned herself into it, which was weird. But
hey, Dr. Giroux, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I still don't know how he did that.
Dr. Giroux had a reason. He got beat up by an 8-year-old.
No, he didn't. He did not. He actually didn't get touched by Goku as a kid.
Yep.
Oh, it
was the rest of the Red Ribbon.
Yeah, the rest of them.
But he just got mad. He got pissed off mad about it.
But I'm still wondering, like, how did you turn yourself into a cyborg? How did you put your brain in that body, bro?
Talk about it. Like, don't make sense.
At this point, it's obvious that Toriyama was watching Terminator and got the idea.
Look, the safest explanation is to say his computer took his brain out of his body and put it in there, but we didn't see nothing with his computer that would say that it could do that. That's the problem.
Well, and the other thing too is like most of that stuff happened like it was supposed to be like 12 years later after that whole thing went down. So yeah, like they didn't even talk about anything that happened. The whole thing we know is that he kidnapped people. That's it.
Yeah,
and turned them in against their will.
Kidnap teenagers.
Yeah,
so disturbing.
Like like when you get into like the whole Red Ribbon Army thing, like especially when Cell shows up, because Cell turns to a horror show for a few episodes, but then they start talking about the other stuff you're doing. Like, this whole thing arc was a horror when you think about it. Like, like okay, and this all Goku's fault.
Complete strangers to his own son.
It ain't Goku's fault that somebody had a horrible reaction.
Yes, it is Goku because, like Trunks said, just should have killed him.
But that's the story of Goku.
I was Goku want to play with everybody. Goku want to play with everybody and have everybody fight, but then he don't want to because he's having too much fun playing.
But see, that's what happens. See, and then people start dying. Then he want to turn up and act all mad, turn into Super Saiyan. You killed my friends. Well, actually, it was really your fault. You could have stopped me.
Technically, he did kill Krillin.
In that particular situation, though, Goku did try his best.
Yeah,
he did.
He used the wackest move of all time that don't ever work.
Well, it worked once. Okay. Hey, it It worked the one time it actually needed to.
Yeah.
Boy.
King Kai was, man. King Kai.
Rolling.
You give a dude a move that powers him up, that backfires, and then give him a ball of energy that don't kill nothing.
All right, so peeps, this week it got leaked, air quotes, leaked, the Bandai Namco's next Tales of game to get remastered is Tales of Xillia. Personally, I like the first one. I didn't care for the second one. The second one sucked. But I was thinking they was probably going to go Tales of the Abyss or do like a remake of Fantasia like Falcom did with Trails in the Sky. That's what I thought they were going to do.
How do y'all keep up with these Tales games? Because I like if you show me like Tales games and you say, all right, which one was the first one? I'm like, because they like all different titles. I'm like,
RPG nerd here.
I get that, but I'm like, the naming convention is like.
So if you look in 1995, you want to know how I found out about it? The first one, because of the anime they did back in 2000 for Tales of Fantasia. That's how I found out about it. I didn't even know.
That's another rabbit hole.
Yeah, but that was saying like when I saw, because I saw that before I played Symphonia. Because the first Tales of game that I ever played was Tales Symphonia.
Yeah,
on the GameCube.
He just found a rabbit hole and fell in.
Yeah, I fell in the rabbit hole. I fell straight in. Okay. I didn't dive in. I just so
that's one of the moments when you just see a person that's like falling down into the sewer. You just walking.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. But like, I get it. But and the other thing that made me a little bit upset with Bandai Namco was because they kept skipping all the Nintendo consoles for some reason, even though Symphonia, like pretty much the better version was on GameCube.
Right.
Hands down. We can tell because they used the PS3 version for the doggone remaster. 8 months it took y'all to patch that. Anyway, that being said, I'm laughing about it because, of course, all these games are finna come to the Switch. Thank you, Jim Ryan. And I just find it funny that they're remastering them, even though they were already in HD.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wasn't crazy. I didn't think this was a new game.
No,
so see, that just makes it worse. Like I don't know what's new.
The newest one is Tales of Arise. The newest one is Tales of Arise. That's the
I know that one,
and that was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. And I played that one, and that one like
it didn't catch me.
Isn't that the one they
all right
control scheme on it?
Yeah, they tried to make it like Final Fantasy. It don't feel like a Tales game.
Well, they definitely failed at that because they surely don't feel like Final Fantasy.
But I'm saying it didn't feel like a Tales of game though. It felt more like they were trying to do like
they try to get there but fell somewhere in the abyss. Yeah. Which there's a name for that too. What, Tales of the Abyss?
Yeah, Tales of the Abyss.
Yeah. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it.
Yeah. But they like it's a lot of games because there's a lot of handheld games that never came over here. Tales games that's Japan only. And for Vita, DS, and 3DS. And I'm sitting up here like, why we ain't never getting none of them? But it is what it is. But I just thought it was funny that they're doing all of these remasters now when I thought they were already in HD.
Look, you know better than me.
HDR, sir.
HDR.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the 16 for the 8K.
No.
So there's
I ain't the one.
File size going for one game going to be 2.5 terabytes. We don't need that.
Hey, look, I ain't the one to put it on my box. Sony. I ain't the one to put it on the box.
17 mainline games?
Yeah, 17.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And began in 95 with Tales of Fantasia.
Yep.
Thank you, AI.
Super NES and what was it, Super NES and Saturn, I think it was on.
Yeah, I think they had a PlayStation version.
They had a PlayStation. Okay, I know the PlayStation had Destiny 1 and 2, Tales of Destiny 1 and 2.
I
don't know if they had Fantasia, but I know they had Tales of Destiny 1 and 2. I think it was.
I want to say PlayStation had it because I think for as much as people brag on the Saturn ran a lot of games better than PlayStation back.
Yeah, it did. it really did. But yeah.
So, quick question: is there a purpose behind the ending? Like, so for example, everything's Tales of. Like, is there a reason for like that final word or title?
It kind of ties into what the story is going to be about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what's the one that I got? The Tales of
this one is on this list.
Vesperia. Yeah, that's the name of their team.
Yeah,
is Team.
It's the name of their guild.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well,
of the
all
Abyss,
right.
you're literally in the abyss.
All right.
So
Tales of the Abyss.
Yeah, literally in Tales of Arise, you're the hell. One of the first damn scenes in the game is the sunrise. Go figure.
Well, I mean, people must love it then. If it's going this strong, people must love it.
It's one of those games like how people talk about Final Fantasy over here. They talk about Tales over in everywhere else.
Well, hold on. That can go wrong. People talk pretty bad about Final Fantasy over here.
No, I'm talking about like before.
Nah.
Talking about like the word of mouth, like before, like I'd say probably what Final Fantasy 13. People ever talked about was how good the Final Fantasy series was. And I preferred Grandia and Tales of. And people looked at me like I was crazy because they didn't know what Grandia was.
When was the last Grandia game?
Like you crazy.
The last Grandia game was Extreme. I think that was like
that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. Because Grandia 3 was the one where Square Enix actually published it, and it was the gameplay was awesome. The story was horrible.
I'm trying to remember because I think I played Grandia 2. Am I mistaken? Grandia 2 was on Dreamcast, or was that
that was on Dreamcast. Grandia 2 was on Dreamcast. Then when they folded, they went and did a PlayStation version, which cut out half the good stuff as far as like the moves and stuff like that. It just cut stuff out, which I didn't understand.
Dreamcast version was the better one.
Yeah, I remember falling in love with the cover art. Like that's what made me pick it up was the cover art.
I really wish that you talk about a game that probably could do with the actual remake. It's probably that one because like it just the cutscenes just don't hold up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I can see. Yeah, they really
that was like back in the day. Now, if you had your regular 480i 19-inch TV, it looked great.
Wow.
You put that on the 65-inch, the 4K, it ain't gonna look good.
So one of the key things that we talked about before, when we were talking about people getting into RPGs or even like the turn-based games, when Expedition 33 just kind of caught everybody's eyes as if RPGs stopped coming out all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mentioned like it was the delivery of like the attacks within the game because people love the flair, if you will. Do the Tales games have that at all to where it's like over the freaking top? Hey, he did a finisher and he jumped up to the moon and came down with a freaking meteor and then dropped. Okay, all right. So
they call it Hyogis or Mystic Arts.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't see that in a ride, so maybe I just didn't get deep enough.
You didn't get deep enough. Because the thing about Tales of games, like they're normally between like I say 40 and 80 hours normally to beat, but you usually like once you get to like probably like 10 to 15 hours, that's when you get your Mystic Arts, and it's usually more than one.
Okay.
Now some games like Tales of Graces, you can get them in like. You'll be able to do them quickly, but they're not as powerful as they are in other games. In other games, they're like in Vesperia, once you get your access to your Mystic Arts, bruh, that thing takes off chunks of life. But you got to hit it.
If you watch some of these people play, though, I swear it is nowhere near how you actually play. Like if you go online right now, get on YouTube.
I'm looking at it.
It like the way they play it is like a fighter. And like, how do you do that?
But the thing is, it takes time. That's not their first playthrough. I promise you.
No,
because like it took me when playing Tales of Symphonia, it took me a good 2-3 times before I got it down pat. The only one that I got it down pat off the rip was Tales of Graces, because Tales of Graces is easier to do. But Vesperia, it took me a while to get the Mystic Arts down for Vesperia because there's certain conditions you got to meet.
I wasn't doing none of this in a Rise, but they also put in their title this was after 400 hours.
Yeah,
where they did this combo.
Like, a lot of people when they do their vids, they be lying to you. They act like they did it on the first go. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because it takes a while to trigger whatever the condition is. Now, once again, like something like Tales of Graces, there ain't no condition. You just got to unlock the move and then do it. So, but like Vesperia, Symphonia, Arise, Zillia, Zestiria, Berseria, it takes a while.
Gotcha.
Berseria's a little easier, but it still takes a while to set the condition up to get it to work and do it consistently. Now, in Berseria, there's a way to get it to run it like a combo, but you need a supervillain to do that. As one of those super bosses to do it, because once you start doing it, like if you got a level in the range of the person you fight, you'll probably take them out and like quickly. But if you're doing it against like one of those super bosses, which they do have super bosses in Tales games, you just got to find them. Yeah, that's what you got to do to survive. So that being that, but yeah, I don't understand the leaking of it. My thing is just if you're gonna do it, just say you're gonna do it.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Just say you're gonna do it. Like, look, we are remastering these games.
It's to gauge fan reaction.
Well, because here's the problem with gauging fan reaction. You don't care about gauging the fan reaction because you already got the set that you're gonna do. You're not gonna.
You shouldn't care.
Yeah, because you already got money allocated to it. So it's not like you already picked what you're gonna pick, unless you ask them before you start doing it. And I don't think anybody asked nobody because I don't remember seeing a list of survey going out to anybody doing Tales of Arise. Hey, which games do you like to see be remastered?
No.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're not gonna allocate resources, and I don't think Bandai Namco got the hits like that be playing around like that.
No, they don't.
I mean, they ain't in as bad a situation as say Square Enix, but
hell, who is?
They ain't in a good situation either. Like,
Square Enix could fix a lot of their problems if they released more than just Final Fantasy with a reskin.
Yeah. Or stop spending like 150 mil to 250 mil to make a Final Fantasy game. Or I'm like, just stop doing that. Like, just make a smaller game. You don't need all the ultra realism. You don't got to do all that stuff.
But let's be real, they was doing that with even with stuff that wasn't Final Fantasy, because remember, Tomb Raider remake trilogy was costing them way too much money.
Way too much money. Yeah. So it is what it is. So do y'all like when devs are honest?
Sure.
Yeah, whenever they are.
Are they ever? Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of them. So somebody asked Katsuhiro Harada, one of my favorite devs. If you don't know who that is, he's one of the main guys responsible for Tekken.
Yeah.
So they asked him, is Tekken 8 going to get ported to Switch 2? And he was just like, look, it's not off the table, but we didn't make it for that. We made it for what we made it for. Right. And I'm like, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it would take.
That's all it would take. Sometimes just say, hey, we didn't have stuff allocated for that. So we weren't worried about it.
So it'd be harder for us to do, so because they pretty much have to do it from scratch.
Yeah. And and right now they got, they're doing their seasons and getting their stuff out. So they don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
Now Tekken 9, if they plan to do a Tekken 9, then they could probably do that. They'll probably have it for it in mind, because I'm pretty sure Bandai Namco has a damn dev kit.
I would imagine that they would go the route of porting, like working it from the ground up, because these fighting games don't come out often like most games. Like, we saw a huge release for all these fighting games last year, to where who was it? Was it Tekken or Mortal Kombat came out on the back end?
Mortal Kombat came out on the back end.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, you don't see them often. So the fact that Mortal Kombat was like, all right, we out. We're not doing anything else for the game. It looks like Street Fighter got, like you said, 2 more seasons in them. And the Tekken might have a couple more in them.
And that's
Blaze Blue, all
Guilty
of them.
Gear just got another couple characters. Like, bro, what the fuck? I forgot about them.
I would imagine they would take the time to do it, because if you're saying, okay, Tekken 9 possibly, or whatever the title is going to be, that may be like in the middle of the Switch 2's lifetime.
Yeah. Or they could just do what they did with the Wii U and just put Tekken Tag on it.
That's what I would prefer, like to have its own separate thing. Because just to make it its own special thing. And that's something that we kind of got away from when we had 1,000 devices, to where he's like, oh, well, we're gonna release it on the Game Boy Advance and the DS, and then we're gonna release it on this, and then the Xbox and the PlayStation, and it's like you see like 500 symbols across one SpongeBob game, but they all play differently. So yeah, we definitely got away from that.
I think like I know for me, because I grew up in that era, I'm used to like games being different on different systems. I know people nowadays that's how dare you make an exclusive. But honestly, I'm like, bruh, if you're not gonna make, because I know I've said this before, I'm like, if you're not gonna put Soul Calibur on the Switch or the Wii U, thank you, Jim Ryan, why don't you just make a Fire Emblem game or a Zelda game, Zelda Fighter with the Soul Calibur engine?
True.
I'm like, that way Sony and Microsoft can't complain.
Yeah,
they can't.
They can, but it'd be pointless.
But it'd be pointless. They can't. It's like them complaining about Smash Brothers. Why are you complaining about Smash Brothers? These are Nintendo characters,
right? And not to mention, you had a shot at it, Sony.
You just don't want to. You just ain't want to believe in it. So yeah, you don't get to complain. That's all. I'm like, I get it. I'm like, you want to keep games off systems, cool, but don't get mad when we option them to make the same thing. We just put our characters in it,
right?
And then it outsells that stuff, that the original stuff. Don't get mad at us, because if you looked at the GameCube numbers for Soul Calibur 2, there's a reason why it's sold better than everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, we do need a fighter that's on the Switch 2 for the Switch 2. I mean, because you can still play Smash, you can still play Mortal Kombat 1, but you can, have like a Switch 2 version, which I don't think Ed Boon is going to do a Switch 2 version.
Ed Boon ain't going to do it, because I remember when people was asking him about it, he was like, well, they don't put Smash Brothers on anything else. I'm like, and they're not going to, dummy. You know what exclusive means. Like, but he wanted, who did he want? I think he wanted like Sub-Zero
and Scorpion.
Smash, and because when they put out the survey, the survey, and everybody chose Bayonetta. Like, hey,
like you didn't make a presence. You forgot Mortal Kombat hasn't had a presence with the fan base for a while.
For a while,
yeah.
Because he wanted Sub-Zero in there, and I'm like, bruh, I wouldn't mind Sub-Zero being in there, but I'd take Joe Musashi or Ryu Hayabusa over him.
Yeah, because I mean, like we've all said, this is kind of like a huge billboard for gaming. Like Smash is a huge billboard. Even if you don't play the game, people show up for the presentation of the new character. So if you go through this whole elaborate, great presentation for Sub-Zero or Scorpion, and then it's like, oh, but there's no Mortal Kombat. We're playing on the system. Then what are we doing?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I was surprised they put Sephiroth on there. To be fair,
I would imagine because they thought something was coming, but
I mean, they did recently do they did have the Final Fantasy VII remaster on the Switch at the time.
Yeah, and they did Crisis Core, but I was like, but at the time, there was no reason to put Sephiroth in Smash.
Well, they have the
Cloud was a favor, from what I understand. Cloud was just a favor.
Was a favor, yeah. But even with that, I think it does pretty well on the Switch. Is the Final Fantasy little rhythm game they have?
Oh yeah,
those tend to do pretty well too. Yeah,
rhythm.
Yeah.
Well, that's because that's all you're gonna give them. That's all you're gonna give people. Then they'll play it. I mean, that's all. Because some people, that's the only system they're gonna have. And like, look, if parents are like, "Hey, look, you ain't old enough yours. I'm gonna get you this,"
So, I wonder why they dropped the Dissidia series, because that was like a fighter.
I thought it was selling good, but apparently it wasn't. Apparently,
presentation was nice.
Yeah, presentation was nice, and I thought it did a pretty decent job with it, honestly. But I guess it wasn't selling well. So I liked the article that they showed with Harada, because I was just like, dude, if more people just was honest about stuff. Just honest from the get-go, instead of over promising, and then I'll go back to Gotham Knights. That first presentation, it's gonna be 4-player split screen co-op, all this stuff. 1 year later, you know what? You know when we said 4-screen,
too ambitious.
We really meant 2.
2-player, we're gonna be 2-player split screen.
We said that the whole time.
After that. You know how we said it was gonna be split screen? Like, bro, why did you say that if you know it's not working?
Yeah. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Halo 343. Oh, we're gonna have split screen. We're gonna have game comes out. Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
You know,
like
so
you said, be honest, but then also too, those were just flat out like lies. But there's also those that don't say anything either. They just let you figure it out when you cop it. So they show you like, oh man, we got this and it's coming here and it does this, and then you get it's like, hold on, wait a minute, partner, like it's missing some stuff. Like, wait a minute, like you didn't say nothing about this. Like, yeah, they've been very quiet, but I wish developers, I mean, especially now with us having, I guess you could say, better access to them on social media, because a lot of developers are on social media. And you see, especially like the indies, they'll answer questions.
They have to though, because they're hustling.
True, but even like, you know, in a sense of like a bigger company, you have more people that will be more willing to like throw stank on your name because you are a bigger company. And I would want to still be in good standing with the people. I'm not asking like the main developer to show up. Just have, you know, a voice from the company. Like, a team or something. So like, for example, with 2K, like they've been doing these presentations for the past couple of weeks. Mike Wang ain't up there talking. He got somebody else doing it. They got content creators talking about it while they're showing the footage up there. But Mike Wang ain't showing up to talk.
Yeah, I did notice that they're starting to use more and more influencers. I did notice that, but then that's kind of like, you know, a slippery slope, if you ask me.
It
because some of these people, they ain't got no business talking to nobody.
They ain't got no business being out there.
Yeah. Some of them ain't got no personality. The other ones, that you can tell they biased as hell. Like, yeah. So I understand, and I see both sides of that argument. This is what happens when you get rid of the mid. People, like, we lost the claim and Midway and all of them, and now this is what we got, you know. So it is what it is at this point. So that brings me to this question. It goes back to the devs keeping promises. What's the whole point of Unreal Engine 5 if you can't do what you, if you can't keep your promises?
I feel like
what's the point of
it? I feel like at this point, if you having trouble with Unreal Engine 5, maybe you need to go back to school, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the reason why, like I said, the reason why I ask is because, like, once again, I go back to stuff like, you know, like 343, and I go back to stuff like, you know, Obsidian, and, you know, those guys when they sit up and do all these, my grand vision and all this, and we're using Unreal Engine 5, and I'm like, yeah, but you can't do split screen.
Yeah,
you can't do 4-player co-op. Right. You can't do couch co-op. Ain't this supposed to be powerful? How you powerful? You can't do stuff that was done like in Unreal Engine 2 and 3.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all should, if y'all having struggles now, I think it's time to reevaluate. Or I won't even say that. I won't even say that. I think if you still having struggles with the Unreal engines, and that's supposed to be made for everybody, like I really feel like maybe just slow it down on how often we get games. Real talk. Because at this point, like, we're still, even though people talk about, oh, we're not getting as many games as we used to, we're not. But I still feel like we're getting them way too often.
We're getting way. We may not be getting them as often. We got way more than we ever gotten. Like, it's way too many.
I'd say it's more accurate to say we're not getting the big games as often, because we still get a bunch of little ones that people tend to want to ignore.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely the because we've always had shovelware. Like, we've always had those games. It's just, I think they were easily ignored. Now that you have like a online shop from these storefronts, like, you can see them now. And also too, I mean, while this is like a pro and a con, it's easily accessible now. Like, back to your point of Unreal Engine, I mean, you can go and get the engine, apply and get the engine, and try to make a game by yourself. Will it be successful? Don't really know, but ultimately, like, if you tinker around with it long enough, I mean, eventually figure out how to put stuff together and make it run. But yeah, for these bigger companies, we shouldn't be at this point. You know, we talk about companies that's been in the game since Super Nintendo, and they're still putting out bad product. You should be tenured, but at the same time, a lot of these companies don't hold the same team. They just kind of ship them in and out and just hold the same name. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Unreal Engine, like I said, from my understanding, is free. So that's why you see so much of it. Because I'm pretty sure Unity and all these other engines would be used if they were free. Because a lot of people are kind of jumping into bed with no income, no financing whatsoever. So they just trying to get their dream off. But like I said, for the bigger companies, by no means, this should not be the route you're going. It shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem is that when they're using Unreal Engine, they're not clearing out the stuff that they don't need.
Yeah, there you go.
Clearing out the assets that they don't need, which is, you can go into nearly, I'd say somebody doing an experiment. If you got any Unreal Engine games, go ahead, load them up, and then go into not load them, but go into the files and see how many files are similarly named that don't need to be there.
Is that a situation of like not necessarily saving over top of oneself, but like some sort of autosave type of format where it just like saves right under just in case you messed up something and you can just go back real quickly?
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about them leaving in, like, when they put their own assets in, they leave stuff in the base engine that they don't use.
Some program packages, like, they just put everything in there. So you go and pick out what you need to do, whatever it is you need to do. And if you don't, that's why if you always hear Shadow talking about coding to the metal, that's what coding to the metal takes care of. There ain't none of that other extra stuff that we don't need. That's why a lot of these games still be having like 80 gigs of stuff, and you really only needed maybe 30 or 40.
Yeah, right.
You know, because the rest of it is bloat. It's like stuff that don't even go for their game. It's just in there because hey, we're gonna give you everything. You figure out what you need, and then they don't get enough time to go in and actually clean stuff up.
No, not at all. That's why you can have a game like Spider-Man 2 had assets in it that were out of bounds in the game that didn't belong there.
Yep.
Well, I mean, like the comment says, I mean, custom engines. We're kind of not at that point anymore. Most people don't make engines, and if they do use their own engine, you don't know the name of them. Like they don't care to say the engine anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's all in the sense of how big of a game and how fast can I make it. Yep. And Unreal Engine, while it's an amazing engine, is not for everything. And like Jay and Andre said, if I'm making, let's say, a basketball game, but then there's a whole bunch of assets in here on how to make mountains and ships and robots, then those things stay in there. Like they got nothing to do with that basketball game, but it's got everything to do with everything that's still sitting there that can be used. So really, I'm curious to see if Unreal would ever say, okay, I'm going to this team, this is all they need, and we're going to make a custom package for them. So take all this other stuff they don't need out and then just leave what they need in. I don't know if they can do it, but you know, that'd be a pretty interesting thing if they could.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing, because I know, like, well, we have some companies that have their own, like, we know, like the ones I go back and think of that we've seen recently is like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom had their own engine.
Right.
And to me, that's what you should do. Make you an engine, use it for 2-3 games. Then if you find a update, because by then there should be enough of a technological leap to say, okay, what can we improve that actually be an improvement other than just throwing power at it.
Right. Hey, look,
you know,
they done Omega Force done shown you ain't got to switch up.
Omega Force just like, bruh, look, it is what it is. That's why I love when I hear people complain and talk about, oh man, it's just, I just wish it wasn't on the Switch. I'm like, play that on Xbox Series X and tell me if it plays any better. It messes up at the same point. That is not the system.
Mega Force said, hey, Then the fool said, "We made this engine. We spent time on this engine." It's like,
it was back in 2001. Your point is,
like your parents like, like your parents saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get my money's worth out these clothes. I don't care how small they get.
Right.
You gonna wear these shoes until your feet hurt."
But we ain't got no soul in them. Huh? Staple these Dr. Scholl's to the bottom of it.
They say, you know what is tried and true? This engine.
Yeah.
Tried a bunch of times. Truly makes us some money. We good.
I mean, because it's funny to hear people complain, and then you go to like the most powerful system, and it's the same problem. People don't want to admit it. They'll pretend like the problem ain't there. I'm like, nah, it's right there. It's the same thing that happens on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But with the power of the PS5 Pro, it's still sitting right there. Once you get like 100 people on screen, it starts chugging.
But listen though, this is an exclusive for this system.
Yeah, it's an exclusive till it don't meet sales requirements. Sales expectations is exclusive till the end. How many times have we seen this can never run or this can't be played? And then we didn't meet sales expectations. All of a sudden, be prepared to play on the Switch. Wait, what? I thought y'all said this couldn't.
Did we say that? No, we didn't say that.
No.
Our influencer said that. We didn't say that.
We didn't say that. PR said that.
Yeah,
two different things.
But I've always found that funny because I will never forget when Bandai Namco straight up said fighters could not run on the Switch. I'm like, huh? I'm like, yeah, it can. It's like, what are you talking about? 6 months later, a direct drops. There's a Switch version. Huh? Kakarot, same thing. And the Kakarot pissed me off because I'm like, I will never buy Kakarot. And I have not. I'm sitting there like, y'all straight lied.
Now you see the backlash they get for Sparking Zero.
Because
you can tell that was rushed. Like, why on earth are the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 versions that close together? Like, that makes no sense.
Once again, they made it for the Switch. It plays on the Switch, and they were like, the Switch 2 is coming? Oh, we ain't gonna put it out then. Why not?
They should just put it out instead of
should have just put it out. Like, there was no point in holding on to it.
Because then that means I got to do extra work to make it better on the Switch 2, which I don't want to do.
Either way, it was going to play on the Switch 2.
Either way.
See, now people are looking for better experiences with these Switch 1 upgrades, and Bandai Namco ain't upgrading nothing. So it's like
them and Square Enix have said they're not doing that.
They're not doing it. Nope.
Like, Square Enix, to their credit, they did not uncap it, so I can understand why they saying that. Like, they'd have to basically go in and do some stuff, and they don't want to do it, or they don't have. I honestly probably don't have the money to do it. But Bandai Namco, I'm like, there ain't no way in the world y'all didn't have this game ready for Switch. There's no way y'all didn't have Sparking Zero ready for Switch.
It was ready.
It was ready. Y'all just didn't put it out, and I'm like, you should have went on and put it out, and just did an upgrade pack.
Yeah,
you should just put it out. Had it uncapped and then just do an upgrade path. That's what that Guardians of Azuma. That's what they did. They found out it was coming out. They went to put the game out and gave an upgrade path because it was like, look, we'll uncap it, and that way once it comes out, all they got to do is just do the magic on the back end and bam, $9. That's all y'all need.
Because you can uncap it without the dev kit, right?
Yep. According to what the rumors were, they're like, you don't need it for that.
Just for context of this conversation, how it started off, Dynasty Warriors Origins, the new one. Here are some of the current technical issues with this on PC, the powerful PC. Crashes, saving issues. Game saving system has been criticized, with some players losing significant progress due to crashes or the game defaulting to a hard save instead of auto save. Cutscene problems. Pre-running cutscenes may not play due to missing VP9 video extensions on some PC systems. Freezing, controller issues, and of course the infamous performance issues. You gotta love them. But I guarantee you them sales numbers are stupid. I bet you they stupid in Japan.
But I mean, it is what it is at this point, right?
Yeah. look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm not changing the engine. You gonna keep buying it? I'm just keep doing it.
Why not? Why would I do that? Look, like at what point? Why that doesn't make any sense?
I mean, look, truthfully, they ain't gotta spend any more money building something else.
True. Yeah. Or they can just genuinely just be taking their dear sweet time building out the new one if a new one exists. Like I can keep milking this until we're ready. Yeah, that's the best spot to be in. Mm-hmm. The best spot to be in.
And all they gotta do is just throw that. And if that don't sell, all they gotta do is do an anime. That's what they've been doing,
brother. That is the best spot to be in. You hear me? The only other spot that's best to be in is PlayStation spot. You ain't got to drop nothing, and people still go cake for you and buy your stuff.
Cake, I'm talking about down the hill. Down that hill.
They don't get nobody paid.
That is true. That is very true. I just think that they're showing that exclusives is very simple minded, is one track minded, and they care about the consumer because they're now sending stuff to PC, Xbox, and apparently Switch 2 as well. So Sony for the win.
I found it funny. I do find that funny that
they need money.
I did find it funny that after Microsoft pretty much said that we're third party, Sony's president comes out and makes that statement, and I'm like, bruh, y'all are copying them even doing that. Doing that, y'all copying them.
Monkey see, monkey do, bro. But you got to let them go first, so that way yours isn't such a hard blow.
Yeah. But they were already doing stuff on PC. That's why I was like, I don't get, like, y'all ain't had exclusives for the longest.
Hey, we announced them. We don't release, but we announce.
We announce, yeah.
We let you know what's coming. We let you know what we're working on. So therefore, you feel like you're a part of us. Now, when are we releasing? I don't know. But
that's not the point.
That ain't the point. Because I expected it's what's crazy? How in the hell did we get a leak and then heard nothing from the leak that was supposed to come out this year? like the information got leaked and it still didn't happen. Like, all right, bro. Like, I get it, they move stuff around, but like we should have heard. I should have seen a blade coming out of a hand with some hairy knuckles or something. By now, I ain't heard nothing about.
Well, that's what they did with the first trailer.
Do it again with the left hand this time. Look, I don't know what else to do, but I don't know. Like, or show me like Deadpool right there next to him or something. I don't know. Like,
Jazzy, you are absolutely correct, man. They are, because they went hard for 2 generations saying they need to go third party. And to be fair, bump being fair. These people knew what they were doing. Now they will sit up and lie and pretend. Now if you confront them and ask those same people, now they have amnesia.
Oh yeah,
I can. And the reason how I know this, because me and Shadow confronted Brian Altano from IGN, and he pretended like he didn't know what the hell we were talking about.
They ain't the only one.
And then the next week, they mysteriously, a lot of their videos just up and disappeared off YouTube, just poof.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what he's saying. To be fair, Sony wasn't a full statement or their other. Yeah, but we read between the lines with that one. Yeah, but it's like, now, granted, there are some people that say no, it's not them going third party. That just means that they're going to just spread their IP, around with movies and merch and. Yeah. All right, man. All right.
That's what to do. I don't know if y'all remember this, chat, or not, but remember, there was supposed to be a Sly Cooper movie back in 2009. No, it was earlier than that.
They got dropped.
Yeah, it was earlier than that. I think it was 2007. It was supposed to came out.
It was before that Raggedy Ratchet and Clank movie.
That was supposed to be the first one, and then it was supposed to be in Ratchet and Clank. So they've been talking about doing that forever. They for some reason they didn't do it. Now you would have thought that Sony would have, since they already had Sony Pictures, they would have already done that. Mm-hmm. It made more sense. But you want to know what they did pick up? Legend of Zelda.
Which is crazy. Like, all right, like, okay. Like, I understand divisions. I get it. Not everything Sony is PlayStation and vice versa. Yeah, I get all of that. Now, they've done what? Uncharted, They've done Twisted Metal.
Yep.
Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna count Spider-Man because that don't belong to them.
Nope.
So
even though even though the first 2 movies did grant them a lot of money because they didn't have to pay for nothing.
Right.
So
we can say the Ratchet and Clank movie, but they have series that I felt, and I've said this before, they should have been movies first before their games, because they already set themselves up as movies any freaking way. Mm-hmm. But how in the world are you the one handling Zelda when God of War is right there on the table?
Well, to be fair, if I'm Sony and I'm looking at my game stuff and I'm seeing what the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is doing, I'm making animated stuff because apparently my animated division is off the chain and my live action division ain't.
Well,
Uncharted, the Uncharted movie, it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, but it wasn't good either.
No.
So, but like I said, if I'm them, I'll go in and make. I own Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
You mean tell me I can't talk to Production IG or Mappa to do a God of War game, God of War anime?
Here's a problem with that, and this just came out this week, if I'm not mistaken. Even though they make great things, obviously they don't see it because they just got rid of K-pop Demon Hunter.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
And now that's about to be projected as like $1 billion situation. Now that's a freaking great movie. Like me and the kids watch that often, and the music is great in it too, and the whole concept of it is great. How do you let that go?
Yeah, unless it was costing them too much money on the licensing side.
I don't give a damn.
They did their own movie, but if they did their own music and Sony don't have the masters,
man.
And Jack, you know about that.
Yeah,
they ain't got the masters to it. So and people are getting smarter with their masters nowadays. They're like, nah, you ain't getting it. Mm-mm.
Which is because
we know what y'all did, the Mike and Prince and the Beatles and all them. Now, hell no. We keeping our masters.
Yeah.
So
but then also too, when it comes down to sampling, because a lot of this music does have samples. If you're not well versed in music, you wouldn't even know. But of course, that person gonna know, and that sample can belong to some random individual sitting in Korea somewhere.
That uses a SoundCloud account.
Yeah, like,
but he put it out first.
So it's nuts. But even if it is the music aspect of it, I'm not giving it up. It's because that right there, to me, I'd like to believe that they knew what they had. Because I think somebody told me about K-pop Demon Hunter, and I was like, K-pop Demon Hunter, and then it popped up on Netflix, and I was like, this movie was freaking fantastic. Like that, like I watched that a couple times before my kids even saw it. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's why I'm saying, I'm like, Sony Animation is killed. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And TVOD, yeah, I know this in development, but I don't know. I ain't got no faith.
I don't have faith in that. Like,
so
I have as much faith as them releasing their games as in development. I just no.
And that's why I said, I'm like, a lot of stuff. The reason why I push animation for is because, especially when we talk about gaming, is because games are easier to translate in animation than it is in live action. I understand Sony loves to market themselves as we have the cinematic experience in our games, but some of this stuff actually is better if you, especially that, because gaming is still niche. No matter what you may believe, gaming is still niche. It's not, the movie audience is not the same as the gaming audience. That's why I'm saying, like, you making $250-300 million games and wondering why you ain't made $1 billion in a month.
Yeah, some movies make that back in the night.
Don't work like that.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Avengers Infinity War made, what was it, 225 million the first weekend.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, most of these games ain't doing that.
Yeah, I don't
even think Pokemon and Call of Duty did that in the weekend. I don't think.
I don't have to own anything to go watch a movie.
Yeah.
Other than the way to get there.
Go get my ticket and go.
Yeah. That's the one up that movies will always have over gaming. Like, you don't have a spot that you can go to and say, I want to try out this new game. Like you just don't.
And one ticket ain't costing you 80. Now 2 is gonna probably cost you, especially on date night. That's why I'm gonna cost you run you like 150. But one ticket ain't gonna cost you that. One ticket like, you gonna cost you at the most, depending if you're going like D-Box and depending where you live at. Because like here, if I go to see a D-Box movie, it's gonna be 25 for me. Ugh. But now, if I just a regular ticket and if I go during the daytime, it's 14.
So now, so let me ask y'all a question then. So like looking at how these budgets are not going to go down, they're just not. Especially now with everything being inflated, is just going to get even worse.
Yeah.
Unless you're Nintendo, I mean, because you know how to manage stuff. But anyway, so if we look at, let's say, movies as like an equal medium to video games, if you will, because I don't account TV shows because that's episodic and how they handle things. But if we look at movies as the same medium and we say, okay, the theater, I don't have to own a theater to watch this movie. Now, if I want to buy it later, of course, I got to own something that streams, or if you still do physical, I got to have a Blu-ray player, which ironically enough is still in the $200 marker for whatever reason. So would you say a smart business move would be to create a theater-like experience for gaming in the sense that me as the company, I create a building or create an area that's similar to a living room and have different sections, and we always got the new game that come out. You just got to pay for entry and pay for time to play that game in my location, and then therefore you don't have to buy a $500 console and then also pay a $70 or $80 for the game. You come in, you give me $10 along with me also getting my funds also from snacks, which that's what movies do too, and let you and your homies have a ball.
I would think that would be cool, but the arcade scene, how the arcade scene died, that's gonna die.
I think well also you think about like arcade scene, those were very specific games. Like there was no way you were gonna put a Final Fantasy in arcade, or you're not putting anything of that kind in there. So if I say, because the only reason why I'm thinking about this idea is similar to us when we were overseas in the USR. So it's like we had the opportunity, like whenever we're done with the day, or the USO, I'm sorry. Like whenever you're done with your day, you go to the USO, you have one group that's like, hey, we sitting around the TV and we watching football. But then you can also go to the counter and say, okay, I want to rent out one controller and I want to rent out this game that's on this list. And then I take it to that PlayStation and it's already synced and everything's good. I just put the game in and I play for how many ever hours I paid for. In this case, we didn't pay for anything because it was for the military only, but you would pay for a time allocation. So that way you're just not on it all day. And if you want to read that puppy up, then read it up. And like I said, I would get most of my money from mainly the food, but I get you in because of the game. And that's where I got the idea from, because that's what we did for the USO. That's how I played Bloodborne. I would have never purchased it, but our USO had Bloodborne. I was like, oh, let me try it out and then do it that way.
In that case, it would probably come down to where you at. To where you live at.
That too.
Because everybody ain't gonna be able to do that. Like it'll probably be in metropolitan areas. It could probably work, but once again, like the problem with most gaming is, especially when you try to do this always online stuff, what are you gonna do about people that live in Montana and South Dakota? What you gonna do about people that stay in Mississippi and in South Carolina, those rural areas? Hey, they can't do that, man.
They probably ain't gonna ever do there.
So.
But yeah, I think it will help. I mean, especially if you talk about like, okay, for this price, you just want to play this game for a certain amount of hours, or do you want to do the stream room to where like we already got it set up for you? You just come in here, log into your account, and this is a stream room, and we got the cameras and all that stuff set up for you, and we'll shoot the video or whatever to you so you can edit it at the crib. And really, it helps people save money on setups and trying to really trick out everything and spending a whole bunch of unnecessary money to put the lights and trying to look like all the other content creators.
Plus, you got to see how much that's going to actually cost them, because it's going to. A PS5 Pro ain't cheap, so
I would never put a PS5
Pro. Super side note, I they have the new Battlefield out. I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity for some VR action, especially like all these ones that you pay for outside, and just do a whole online VR version of that. I think that's a huge missed opportunity.
That's one thing we noticed because we went to main event. What was it, like 2 weekends ago? And one thing I noticed, every spot that I go to, whether it's Dave and Buster's, Main Event, or any other location that had games like that, them jokers still on HTC Vive, dude. Like, they're not updating anything VR related.
No.
It's probably gonna cost too much to do it, so that's probably why they're not doing it.
So I mean, because honestly, there's only been like one place that has taken advantage, and they all switched to Quest 3s, and it was a open warehouse, and you pretty much play like a Battlefield 6 type game, and they don't have to put nothing in the room because the game has like barriers and stuff that you hide behind in the game. So really, you just got an open warehouse with VR headsets and let people have a blast. So I don't know, but yeah, it probably would be costly. It just depends on how much capital you got. But yeah,
true. All right, so last thing we're gonna talk about, and then we'll get out of here, is Gamescom is this week. Actually, on the 19th it starts. They have opening night. As I stated last week, we're not doing a live reaction for this because last year we did it, and it wound up being a whole lot of stuff that was already at Summer Games, so it was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Now watch this year. Now watch this year is gonna be all new stuff, but last year that's what it was.
Xbox.
Yeah. So what we plan on doing is just probably watching on our own time and then coming back next week and just giving our thoughts on it. Probably the whole episode next week is probably going to be Gamescom thoughts and stuff like that. Because supposedly, allegedly, Silk Song is going to be there and playable, and so is Pokemon Za and something else supposed to be there and playable. So we'll see. We'll see. What I wanted to get from you guys is what do you want to see gaming wise from Gamescom?
What do I really want to see over anything else? Release dates. That's
there you
all
go.
I want to see.
That's pretty much
I want to say release dates, and then also I want to see like these companies' game plan for what they have for Switch 2, because that's the only console I'm interested in right now. So I don't know if Xbox is gonna start doing their thing there of like, hey, this is what we're bringing over,
or at least putting the thing on there.
Yeah, the logo at least. Yeah. So that's what I want to see. But also, I haven't paid attention to all of who's gonna be there. But I would like to see like Mouse PI. I want to see that with a release date if they're going to be there, because that's an indie game. But I mean, from what it seems like, that game's far enough along for them to be at Gamescom. What else would I want to see? I think for the most part, if I would like to see if Square shows anything with their final installment with this Final Fantasy remake rebirth situation. Like if they at least give us a hint at what it is. I would like to see if there has been any progress on Kingdom Hearts 4. Was that just a world? Right. Like, was that just a world we were in to where it looked real? And then we can go back to the cartoony type of deal. Because, I mean, with 3, the one thing I didn't care for was we essentially got rid of the Square Enix characters. Like, we got rid of the Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, which made no sense.
That's how it started off. But also, too, I've always been interested in the worlds that they've added to where we know, like, Hercules is always there. It seems like he's always there. So I'm curious to see, like, do they wrap this story up, or do they just leave it on a cliffhanger and just keep going? But ultimately, that's kind of what I want to see. That if we come to a close on this Final Fantasy situation, if we see Kingdom Hearts 4, and then also like Sandstorm said, if we get some release dates, that's gonna finally come for the Switch 2 with these games that were listed as 2025.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Andre, what about you?
I mean, look, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's coming, when it's coming.
Yeah.
And if Nintendo decides that they're going to be slick and drop a trailer for the 3D Mario for the Switch 2.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Okay. Like with me, it is release dates, but I do want to see if they're going to drop something from Metroid Prime 4.
Oh yeah,
I would imagine
they're still saying 2025.
Yeah,
so
boldly too.
I think it's going to be 2025. I also think we're going to finally get a release date for that specifically.
Yeah.
That
and probably. And I'll go out on a limb and say they're probably going to do a Switch 2 versions of 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, that'd be
I
crazy.
think that's what they're gonna do. I think that's why we didn't get 2 and 3. They only did the first one, and as far as remaster is concerned, because allegedly when that first one came out, it was already done. Like 2 and 3, the trilogy was already done. But if they were gearing up for Switch 2, they probably like, hey, let's put this out on Switch 2. So I would, if anything, I wouldn't. I would want to see Prime 4, and if it has a release date, that's what I would want to see. I would also like to see what, like I said, what Microsoft is, because I know the Adventures of Elliot demo had the Microsoft Azure PlayFab thing on it, so I know that is ready to go. So I would like to see what they're doing to bring stuff to everything, since that's what their game plan is. I'd like to know what that is. Other than that, I just want to see new stuff. I don't want to see what was at Summer Games. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see something new. Like, I know Summer Games was just a month and a half ago, but I still remember, and we still see those videos. Show me something new. Don't do what you did last year. Show me something new. And if you got other companies not participating, like, look, I know Nintendo didn't participate last year. That's probably why you had to show what you showed. And you just don't have a show then, bro.
Yeah,
right.
Don't waste your time and the money. Stop wasting money, because they cost money to do those shows. Stop wasting money if you ain't got, if they ain't showing up. If Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo decide they're not gonna show up, we ain't having a show this year. We're just gonna we'll put out the trailers and stuff we got, and we'll just do the dev stuff that we don't see. We'll just do the dev stuff that we save that money and put it to when they're there. Or at the very least try to convince them to participate, make it worth their while. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode of the WinginIT podcast. Thank you, everybody in chat. We appreciate you for coming through. Sandstorm, anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, I think we will do a little Gamescom stuff. We'll go over it a little bit. So if you want to check out and get some of the early reactions, I'm gonna stay as authentic as possible, so Twitter won't be a thing. We have this coming Wednesday, right, Jack? Coming Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, both Jack and I will be on Nintendo Prime's Nintendo Byte podcast. So definitely come over and check that out. Bring it back Monday. Tomorrow we will have the Jill podcast. I should be on there. But yeah, like I said, Wednesday is the Nintendo Byte podcast, and then on Saturday we will have a Stormcast. All of us were doing adulting this past Saturday, so it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, make sure you subscribe out to everybody here, as well as Shadow, Vicky. Shout outs to them. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Jack.
As Sandstorm said, we will be on the Nintendo Byte podcast this upcoming Wednesday. Very excited for that. Just to kind of get on, chit chat out. I've had the pleasure of talking to Thunderstash previously on one of Sandstorm's podcasts. But with all that being said as well, this past Saturday, the reason why I couldn't be on Sandstorm is because I got interviewed for the album that's dropping October 2nd by Desmond Does. So he will let me know when that's gonna release, and it's supposed to be on all platforms. So we had a great conversation, great questions, great dude, man. And, just getting the opportunity to meet him and, kind of seeing what his whole game plan was as far as interviewing and meeting new people. So I definitely made sure I threw y'all names out there as well, for him to, reach out. So if he ever reaches out, just know I sent them your way. But with that, man, just getting ready for this album, just, getting these videos queued up, for after the release, which is on October 2nd. And it's coming up pretty fast. So after, this month, I will do my submission, and we get out our perfectionist stage and really just let it go. And, just looking for everybody's feedback and for everybody to listen to it and see what y'all think for my debut album on MSM. Even though this is my first album, this is my first album with them. So, and with their help. So it's been a very interesting journey for sure.
Okay. All right, Andre, anything you want to add? I know you said you were doing stuff. You're waiting to.
I'm still stockpiling for September. So
gotcha.
Well, you about to have a blowout,
right?
I'm just gonna have a bunch of stuff, and you just gonna see a bunch of stuff. That's all you gotta worry about.
Gotcha. All right. So I do have a video coming out tomorrow. That is the Perfect Dark gameplay with the 8-bit Do 64 controller. I even put an intro on it. So check that out tomorrow at 7 a.m. I think is when I put it up to come out. And I'll probably do a couple more gameplays and some stuff. I know I said I was going to be doing a boss battles vid. So I found a couple of old ones that I have, and I will be putting those up on the channel sometime this week. So be on the lookout for that. J Biggs, I like the controller. It's different, but it feels comfortable, especially if you're like if your hand gets like kind of cramped if you're using the 64 controller that they have from Nintendo. Like, I still like that 64 controller, but I can't do like long game periods with it because hand's kind of big. So
I mean, it looks like. Did you get the all white one?
Black. So,
but that seemed like a missed opportunity to do the 64 color scheme.
I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they didn't do that. I think they were just trying because it's supposed to go with the actual system. I don't think the system's out yet. The system got pushed back. Yeah. So, and I'm still on the waiting list.
Boy, anyway, I hear about the waiting list, boy.
Yeah. I'm about tired of waiting lists, but it's JB's. It's comfortable. It's real easy. If you have like the 8-bit Do Pro controllers that they have, it feels like that. It just doesn't have back paddles. Now the ZR is because you have LR, you have ZR/ZL. ZR is basically used as the ZR for the regular, so it'll bring up like the load screen and all that stuff to create load points and all that. The ZL is your actually Z button. So that's the only thing you probably need to know. Everything else is self-explanatory though. Okay. So you'll see that in the gameplay I did because there was one time I hit the wrong one. I hit ZR instead of ZL and it went to the create store and I had to get back out of it so I could shoot somebody. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a comfortable controller. I will give 8-bit Do props. They do good jobs on their accessories. I will give them props for that. I want to try out their fight stick. I need to see what all it's compatible with. But
that's the wireless one, right?
Yeah, the wireless one.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about getting that because that's only like $85. I'm like, I thought it was gonna be more because everybody else fight stick like 100, 150, and 200.
That's one thing I will say. They price their controllers like smart. Even with the ones that have all this technology of all the other sticks and Hall effect, this, that, and the third, it's $80 or if not cheaper. So I mean, they price them well.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about getting it, I just like the other controllers, go for it. They're good quality. But that'll be up tomorrow at 7 a.m. So please be on the lookout for that. And with that, we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, people. Have a good rest of your evening.
Peace.